You are going to help create happy memories that will last for the rest of her life.
Huh? What?
2019's Toy Story 4 came at a time when movie fans sorely needed another hit from Pixar's franchise to remind them of the good old days when everything felt great. We all know the excitement we felt when we discovered Toy Story wouldn't end with the trilogy, and history is about to repeat itself with the next chapter in the franchise. Toy Story 5 was confirmed months ago, and for all we know, Pixar is about to shake the animated movie industry with one more installment. If you want to know everything about Toy Story 5, look no further, because we'll be discussing all the spicy details about Woody, Buzz, and the whole gang in this video. Before we begin, we'd like you guys to help the channel by clicking that like button and subscribing to the channel for future updates.
Bonnie's not Andy.
No, of course, I get that. But if you would just hear me.
Places, everyone!
Pixar's parent company Disney let the cat out of the bag during the company's first quarter earnings call, where we got to know the steamy details about the future movies on their slate. Announced by the CEO Bob Iger, the company made a whole lot of fans happy when it revealed that some fan-favorite sequels would be making a comeback, along with Zootopia 2 and a second sequel to Disney's Golden Goose, Frozen. He also informed fans of Toy Story 5's imminent arrival. Sequels to Zootopia and Frozen were massive in their own rights, but the fact that a 50 Toy Story was confirmed took things to a whole new level. Bob made it clear that Toy Story 5 was still in early development, so fans who want the movie now will have to slow down their horses. Pixar has had a lot on its plate with the development and release of films like Elemental, Elio, and a sequel to Inside Out. We might want our movies now, but we don't want to overwork the hardworking animators who bring our favorite movies to the big screens. That being said, fans should expect Toy Story 5 in 2 to 3 years. It's wishful thinking to expect the film sooner. But for those who can't stand the long wait, the company recently has a few release dates pinned down for unnamed movies: June 13th, 2025, March 6th, 2026, and June 19th, 2026. Now, those are all dates staked for films without titles, and with any luck, we may see Toy Story 5 making a comeback on one of those dates.
Helping her when she needs it most. You've been there through all their ups and downs.
As we said earlier, we are still in the early days when it comes to Toy Story 5, so there are currently no trailers for the movie. We're gonna have to wait until post-production is done and the company kicks in the marketing cycle before we get to see the exciting stuff. The Toy Story franchise has brought in over $3 billion for the company, and we're sure there will be an insane marketing run before the movie comes out in cinemas. This means we'll get to see a few teaser trailers several months before we get the movie, and we can't wait.
It's quite a jump.
We know the perfect toy to help.
It goes without saying that at the heart of every movie is the cast, and Toy Story isn't excluded. The Toy Story franchise was built on the backs of its impressive voice cast, which includes the likes of Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Annie Potts, Wallace Shawn, and others. There can't be a Toy Story movie without Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, who voices Sheriff Woody and Space Ranger Buzz Lightyear. They have been with the franchise for over 2 decades, and it looks like they'll return to do it again. In a post on their microblogging site, Twitter Allen was quoted saying, "See you soon, Woody. You are a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity." And off we go to number 5, to infinity and beyond, which all but confirms their return. Tim Allen confirming his return as Buzz for the next installment is a return back to the status quo since we saw Chris Evans take up the mantle in Buzz's solo film Lightyear. Chris Evans is a beloved actor with thousands of fans, but there's just something about Allen's voice as Buzz that makes it irreplaceable, and we're glad he's back. With the two being on board, we can expect Bonnie's other toys to be on board as well. These include Jessie, Bullseye, Rex, voiced by Wallace Shawn, Ham, voiced by John Rattensberger, Slinky Dog, voiced by Blake Clark, and others. In addition to the usual lineup of major characters like Joan Cusack and Wallace Shawn, the franchise has brought in major names like Keanu Reeves, Michael Keaton, and the combined forces of Jordan Jordan Peele and Keegan-Michael Key. The other two central characters who potentially either won't return or will be recast are Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, mainly given that the actors Don and Estelle have both passed away. Other possible returning characters are the group of toys that joined Woody and Bo Peep as their ownerless toys, including Giggle McDimples, voiced by Allie, Ducky, voiced by Keegan-Michael Key, Bunny, voiced by Jordan Peele, and Duke Kaboom, voiced by Keanu Reeves.
Right, all right.
Thank you! Thank you!
All right, guess we're doing this. Let's ride!
Growing up with the Toy Story franchise, it's hard to imagine that there are other people out there that don't know what Toy Story is all about. The first movie will forever be iconic because it introduced us to the pristine world crafted by the geniuses at Pixar. We got to see how Andy's obsession with his shiny new Space Ranger made Woody feel insecure. Being the former favorite toy, the naive Space Ranger and the Western Sheriff may have come from two different worlds, but they are able to put aside their differences to find a way home when they get lost. In the sequel, we see an injured Woody getting stolen by a crazed toy maker who gives him new life by piecing him together. Woody later finds out he's part of a collection of antique Western-themed toys, and the sequel gives us the unforgettable Jessie, the cowgirl. Not wanting to give up on their pal, Andy's toys heroically stage a rescue that ends up with treacherous Stinky Pete revealing his plans to keep Woody with his crew. Toy Story 3 jumps a few years into the future when a grown Andy is about to head to college. Being an adult, Andy has long since stopped playing with his toys and has even given some of them away, such as Woody's beloved Bo Peep. The neglect continues and the rest of his toys get accidentally sent to a daycare. This is where they meet Lotso, who seems like your regular child's toy. But things turn sinister when they discover he's a medical toy who loves to boss around other toys. Andy's toys are forced to escape Lotso's evil clutches to return to Andy, who gives them a new kid named Bonnie. 2019's Toy Story 4 was the first movie where we see the toys with their new kid Bonnie. She's a nice kid who plays with the toys but doesn't seem to like Woody as much as Andy did at her age. This causes some internal turmoil for Woody, who wants to be loyal to his kid, and to make matters worse, he is reunited with Bo Peep, who has transcended the need for a kid. At the end of the movie, we are heartbroken to watch Woody accept that Bonnie doesn't need him, and he stays back to join the lost toys.
Woody's always trying to do right by his kid.
By putting everyone in danger? Ugh, that kind of crazy.
The last Toy Story ended with an emotional goodbye between Woody and the rest of Bonnie's toys. And even though it felt like the end of the franchise we all deserved, we know that there's still more to come. Tim Allen's tweet makes us believe that Buzz and Woody will be reunited once again for another epic adventure. That being said, it's gonna be fun to see how Pixar manages to get them back together, since Woody and Bo Peep are roaming around with a traveling carnival. We have no clue how the studio is going to pull it off, but we believe in their ability to give us a story that we'll love. Given Pixar's heroic run with the Toy Story franchise, it's safe to say that Toy Story 5 will surely be one to watch at the theaters. We'll be sure to fill you guys in once we finally get more news on the film. But until then, it's all about anticipating the next installment in the Toy Story franchise. Will you be watching Toy Story 5 at the cinema? Let us know in the comments below.
You Mr. Toads want to take a wild ride with a kid?
We can make that happen. You can? Really? Oh, yeah.